Not me. Not me.
Want to put your headphones on and give me a sound check?
You know when you want me to try and test you.
Yeah, go on.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4. 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 Test 1, 2, 3, 4.
Keep talking.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8.
We're good.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Long Beach, California, and the Long Beach Lawn Bowling Club. We're here for the finals of the men's national singles playdowns for the Southwest Division. Got the whole crew all set up for live streaming. We should have a good day of bowls for you. This is thanks to the usual producer, Gary Barnes, the cameraman, Steve Nermontes. We also had some nice help from Steve Hill, too. Joe Nermontes, Sheila Conti, and I'm your announcer, Scott Roberts. So what we'll have today is there are 4 matches currently going on. So the original setup for we had 44 entries for the men's singles playdowns, which far and away more than I think any other division by far. The Southwest, because of our numbers, gets 2 entries into the national championship, so they immediately break up the 2 groups evenly. A little bit of seeding based on past history did not have it overloaded with one group. So we have 22 in each one of the groups. That has now been reduced down to 4. So there's 4 out of 22 in each of the last 2 groups. So the match we're going to see today is an elimination match between Tom Richardson and Cory Vose. That's the match that we're going to show today. The way they do it, because normally the national championships is a round robin, but there's just so many entries that just would be impossible. I mean, or just take months to try and do 21 games for everybody. So with 22 entries, so we do double elimination. So both Tom and Cory have lost a match. Both of them have lost to Ruse Adai. Ruse, he's the only one that doesn't have a loss yet, and he's got a match going on with Dave Morrison to try and eliminate Dave. So in the stars, because they break it up into stars and stripes. So the stars, Ruse is the only undefeated, and he's playing Dave Morrison, who lost to Tom Richardson. And then the same Tom Richardson is playing Cory Vose in the match that we're going to show today. And they both lost to Ruse. So we'll explain more as we go along. But essentially, for those in the losers bracket, once you lose, you're out if you've already lost one. And Ruse will have an advantage that if he happens to lose his match to Dave, he's still got a chance to win the whole thing with his later match. So we'll try and keep an eye on that. So that's what's going on with the stars. With the stripes, the player who's undefeated is Sadri Dazzaieri, and he's playing. And the 3 people who have a loss are Bill Brault, Charlie Herbert, and Chris Trenchel. Um, Bill Brault lost to Chris Trenchel. Charlie Herbert and Chris Trenchel lost to Sadri. So Charlie and Chris are playing in an equivalent match, which is the elimination match, while Bill is playing Sadri to try and stay alive. So we're going to be playing all our matches today. We'll be to 21 points. There's a chance that we'll only have 2 games to broadcast, but more likely there'll be 3 games because of the nature of how many games that we have going on. So the players are just finishing up with their trial ends, and we have lucky enough to have Ann Nunes, the multi-time national champion and former world champion, doing the marking for this match. She is very conscious of the camera, so we'll appreciate Ann for that. And trial ends are over, and we're about ready to get underway. This is Cory. He'll be setting the mat and rolling the first jack. He's opting to go pretty long. I think we'll probably see a lot of that. I think both these guys like to play long on the hole. You can see it's just, maybe a yard short of the tee, and I think he's pretty much got the mat pretty close to the tee as it is. So first bowl by Cory, a couple yards short. And here's Tom. You see Cory with the red bowls, hence part of his nickname Big Red. And there's Tom with kind of these aqua bowls. Looks like a good opener by Tom. That's a little more what you want with the first one. Try and be right on the tee. Or maybe a bowl short, wide. Tom's in pretty good space here. Just needs to take a little weight off here. And kind of what you'd expect. It's kind of hard to take a yard off, and he wanted to make the adjustment and just over adjusted, so he's 2 yards back. There's Cory. Like a pretty good one here. Yeah, good ball. A little lucky. Don't know if we got a read on who's holding. I guess is Tom's holding. Tom's clearly got the line early, which is a big win for him. If he can stick with having that line and be able to stay on it. Yeah, just again, Tom's got half the puzzle figured out with the line. He's just kind of playing with his weight, hopefully to get that down. Again, just early days. First, if you could get the line of the first day, that's a huge win. Cory's switching hands, looking to either promote his own or get to that second bowl. Yeah, he really wanted to be back in these back bowls here. Tom just again looking to draw with his fourth. Last ball, the end. We'll see how this comes in. Just a little heavy. So I think Cory would have been better served to come in with weight. He could have promoted, come up to this bowl, or he could have come to this bowl and pushed it out and sat for 2. This one would have been his better target here. And then if he would have had that and pushed that through, and then he could have sat for 2. But as it is, we'll see what the count is. I think it was just 1. I was hoping Ann would give us the skinny. I'll try and see if I can find out whether it was one or two. Pretty sure it was one. Let's just call it one for Tom for now. I don't think he got that second one in. I think it was just one. All right, so Tom gets first blood, up 1-0 after one, playing to 21 points. Let's see Tom kind of going a little more of a medium length. It's interesting. Just a little short. Shoot big red. A little short again with both these guys. Yeah. This is a little more where you want your first bull to be. This is a good one by Tom because it's set up a little bit nicer for any kind of jack movement this way. Cory probably wants to just kind of play in this gap here, just keep playing his hand, come to here, come to that bull. Really needs to take the grass a little off and definitely doesn't want to be short. Here's Tom again. This needs to duplicate what he did the last one. Really don't want to be short there because now you're giving Cory's got the chance where he could use this bull to come in as it comes on the angle there. So it's just making it easier for Cory. He can afford to take more grass, especially since he's been narrow. But he hasn't missed again. Gonna come. He might get lucky by hitting his own. That's pretty fortunate. Pretty fortunate to get there. He really should have been coming around and underneath here as opposed to what he did, which was to come here. But he managed to get a little fortune out of it. So Tom now trying to see if he can get the draw back. Touch on the jack right between them. So I like the effort. That's a good bull. He could have hit the jack and he could have knocked it back to his own or hit his own. I mean, with that shot, he could have come here and hit that bull, or he could hit the jack and back in here. Either one would have been good. He just happened to get unlucky and go between them. And hopefully Cory takes the grass here. It should be kind of a free draw. You really want to take advantage of this if you can. Yeah, see, there's that angle I talked about right there to get two. And see, just what I said, you could hit that bull and he could use it to redirect in. It's exactly what he did, and now he's going to have two shots here. I'm just going to get a quick read from Ann to see if it's 2-1. I'm going to go over there. I'll be off for a second. Got confirmation from Ann that it was 1 for Tom on the first end, and with 2 for Cory there, it's 2-1 after 2, playing at 21 points. As you can see, I've got a new toy now. I'd asked our producer Gary, and he's gone through the work of letting me have a telestrator to try and help illustrate the stuff that's going on, as you see in a lot of other sports. So hopefully that's coming across for everybody and it's helpful. All right, both these guys right-handed, and Cory's opting to continue with the backhand here. This is a pretty good opener. Nothing wrong with that. Not 2.5 feet behind. Good line. Pretty good bull by Tom. Just a little behind. Pretty much jack high, I think you'd say. Cory's switching hands now. Coming on the forehand. Again, he's gonna try and be coming in here and hit the jack or the bull. And pretty good weight. He just laid it out a little too far. Let's see if Tom's gonna switch. He's gonna let's see. I think he's gonna stick with his backhand here, it looks like. Try and put another bull in the head. Ideally, he'd want to trim to that back bull. It's a shot, but I think he's taken a little bit too much off. He would have been better off served to be on this bull here, coming all the way around and on that bull. Instead, he came up short. Cory again, probably going to do the same thing. That other bull's not his way. He switched hands, and maybe he just didn't like that hand and the way it rolled. So it's just shifting over and trying to do the same thing and see if he can put it to his two bulls here. You really got to be through here. He was trying to come through here, see if he can hit the jack and knock it back in here or get to this bull. It's going to force Tom over. Tom really wants to try and stay high. He doesn't want to touch this bull in front, and he does want to knock the jack back. Yeah, he's a little short there. I mean, Tom would have been better off being back in here so he could protect against a weighted shot from Cory. Cory really hurt himself by putting this bull here because he's kind of put himself in the way. I'll try the backhand again. He really wants to try and feed and see if he can get underneath his own, get to the jack or that bull. The bull will be good for him. Great shot there. That's well done. Very nice. Being able to thread it between those two is good. Yeah, and Cory's just holding the one. So now Tom probably going to thread it between his two bulls, trying to come right through this gap to that bull there. Or alternatively, he'd get to the jack. Pretty good shot here. Really good. That's enough. Oh, might have just drifted by. Well, it's one for somebody, so we'll just see whoever rolls a jack. That was a pretty good effort. My guess is Cory still got it, eyeballing it from here. But yeah, one more for Vose. Big Red takes a 3-1 lead, playing to 21 points. So the game right next door, so they're on our TV rink, at least for now, is rink 7. Right next to us on rink 6 is Ruse and Dave Morrison. Dave, a local here at Long Beach. Dave has one loss to Tom, and Ruse is undefeated. So if Ruse manages to win and stay undefeated, then he'll play the winner of this game right here between Tom and Cory, and whoever wins this game would have to beat Ruse twice. But if Dave wins, then Ruse sits back and waits, and Dave will play the winner of this game, and then whoever wins that will have to beat Ruse, but only once. And that way Ruse will have the 2 losses compared to everybody else. All right. Cory again, kind of going longish. And he's got the mat right on the tee. And he's maybe 2 yards, 5 feet. And pretty good opener there. Kind of a big target for Tom. He can afford to play it through, kind of a jack or bull shot. I mean, if he's playing the forehand, you're really trying to get to this spot here so that you could come through and hit either one of those. Because short doesn't do you any good. You're down, be up. Yeah, this is a good bull here. Let's see. Yeah, got the jack. See, almost exactly where I put the dot. That was exactly the bull to play. That's well done. Don't know if he's holding, but you can see it's a lot better. Corey, probably, unless he really, I mean, they might be worried about this hand. Hand might be a little bit of a bugaboo. So I think we're going to see a lot of bowls on this hand. Yeah, I think the right idea. I mean, especially if this hand's unplayable. I mean, this hand for Corey would have been to hit his bowl up or to get to this bowl from here. But if you can't play that hand, then you're better off. And he gave up on it really quickly on that last end. I think we're going to start to see a lot of bowls being played on this stretch of grass back and forth. There's Tom again. Just needs to hit the inside of that bowl. Pretty good effort. He's probably just looking for the clean draw here. Especially now with that one in the way. I mean, he could play that hand, but he's going to stick with the forehand again with this stretch of grass. And you could afford to use this as a wall. You could come off this and come in, or come to that bowl or to the jack. Just kind of left it a little heavy. See, if he would have had like this kind of weight to here, he could have played off this and it could have rolled in, or he could have hit this bowl or carry the jack through. But he was just a little too heavy. He's all the way in the back. Tom's just looking to get another bowl in the head. Like ideally, he'd want to be kind of matching this spot here. I think would be a pretty good home. He didn't want to be short there if he could help it. Not a lot of danger. He's going to try again. I think we'll see him probably drop a little weight. He just really wants to make sure he's around those two front bowls. He's kind of a little narrow. He's going to have to get lucky. Nope. All right. Well, Tom should know. It's just, again, it's looks like a measure from the angle, but my guess is Tom's holding one based on what's really happening. But we'll see. See if Tom can come. He really needs to add that extra 2 feet. He played it out nice and high. Coming in nice. That's a great bowl there. Definitely the shot. Let's see if it's one or two. All right, two for Tom there. And that's this matchup at 3-3. Great draw there by Tom. So it's going first. Again, I'm expecting to see a backhand here. Just, I don't know if he loved it or he hated it. He just turned away immediately after letting it go. The weight was good. He just missed his line. Let's see what Big Red can do here. Again, I think you've seen both players playing this hand and continually playing this hand coming this way. Yeah, good bowl by Cory. Pretty good opener. No more than a foot short. Probably can't even see the jack. Always a good feeling when you can keep your opponent from even seeing the jack. Tom's made it all the way. Very decent second. And interesting how Cory's going to see if he's going to try and play a hand or if he's going to try and see if he can figure out this forehand here. Yeah. Really dangerous for him to try to play the stick with the backhand. So I think he's switching over him. See if we can get it to turn and get behind. Anything behind even would be good. Even if you have a hand that's not great, it's even better just to take what you can get because he really could use something behind, and that's what he's done. And Tom's probably looking to come with some weight, promote his own, push that bull. Now he's going to switch over to the forehand and try and see if he can come through here. I think he would have been okay to stick with the hand on the backhand if he wanted to, just work off his own. If they seem to be avoiding this stretch of grass, Tom played it pretty decently there. Of course, still got room. Interesting. He's got a choice. Yeah, he's going to try and play this little gap. I mean, you could get away with coming under, but he's probably going to try and come around this way. Yeah, you can see it kind of flattening out on him. I think that's why they're just. I mean, Tom's that bull in front is probably the best bull we've seen played on that hand. I think, well, the guys are kind of avoiding it. Tom really needs to kind of get something behind and play it through, being down one. Really needs to get a kind of promotion or to push that bull out. Yeah, he's got to have this kind of weight. You got to have this kind of weight. You can't be short when you're down one. All right, Cory holding one doesn't want to give one away, but you really, if you got a free draw, you like to take advantage of it. I think he's switching over. Let's see, might be. So I think he's trying to play that little gap underneath those two bulls, trying to come to his zone if he can. Doesn't want to push that green one up. Well, he got away with it, pushed it all the way out, but I don't think he got anything else out of it. Might be just one. Yeah, just one. Might have Ann trained now. All right, one more for Vose to take back the lead. He's up 4-3 in this match, going to 21 points. You guys are playing at a pretty crisp pace. Don't really have any way of knowing what's going on with the other matches, so yeah, it's still early days with everything. So I will say that I have seen Ruse. It's kind of a mix. I saw Ruse with the mat before, but I had Dave with it this time. So, and again, Cory kind of living in this about a mat on the tee, and then the jack about a yard or so short. Pretty consistent he's been with the jack length here. Although he's gotten the third end playing this length. And you'll probably see the players favor the forehand. They seem to really trying to be avoid that stretch of grass. And a good opener, got it to the tee. Tom on the forehand. They're looking to try and match Cory if he can. Yeah, just too many short bowls right now for Tom. He probably doesn't want to change much. I mean, the natural tendency is to want to take a yard off, but really could get away with doing the same thing. He just kind of added a little. That's not bad. It's a good position. All right, I'd like to see Tom add even just the 2 yards, even just anything in this little zone in here would be great. Yeah, just really, really can't do that. I mean, that's you're 5 feet short. Your adjustment's got to be at least to add the five. Even if you had 2 yards, I mean, much better to be back here. I mean, that's just kind of, total blank there. Yeah, he even gave Cory something to help redirect him in with that. And that's a problem. And nobody gets a lucky wick off of a long bowl, off a back bowl. You get lucky wicks off short bowls. It really a crusher. It could easily be 3 down right now. He really needs to get something close to the jack and preferably behind. Even, I mean, I think it'd be a win if he had anything in this gap here. That would be good for him. It's a good effort. Better there. Still short, but he's at least cut it to 1. Cory's probably just going to draw around. He really doesn't want to touch that bull. I mean, if he really wanted to be frisky, he could play with weight through here in this gap, hit the bull to get the jack to move to his. But I think he's just going to, well, he is going to try something through there. With nothing to worry about in the back, he can afford to do it. Yeah, there it is. There it is, just like that. So he could have hit the bull and he could have moved the jack back, or could have hit that bull like he did. So now he's holding at least 2, probably 3, and put Tom back to the test again. And this is the problem with nothing behind, then he had no fear. Or he had nothing to worry about. And that's why it's so crushing to have short bowls. Well, it's 2 or 3 here. Again, Tom short. It just, I mean, it just, you try and say it when you're a beginner, just that short bowls just kill you. Just kill. I mean, look at, here's the center line, and he's got 3 bowls on this side of the jack line. And this one was promoted. It was short too. He had through 4 short bowls, and it's going to cost him. They're eyeballing to see the third. 3 it is for Cory. And it's a 7-3 lead. Well, I've been using a little bit, the little telestrator here. I'm curious what you all think. For those of you who happen to be watching, hopefully that it helps out. I'm getting a little kind of a ghost, like a second image as I'm drawing. See, yeah, kind of getting a little background, another one. So, it's working. I'm helping to communicate it. There's going to be kinks. Maybe I'll switch the colors. Maybe it's just the blue. Yeah. Nope. Draw 1 line, get 2. All right, now Cory's gone a little longer. Now he's right on the tee. You can see we call this the tee. For those who don't know, this is the 2-meter mark. So Cory threw the jack behind, but there's no jacks. The jacks can't stay. It's got to. When you started the setup of an end, we put it at the 2-meter mark. So that's what the tee marks as the 2-meter mark. So that's why we call it the tee, because usually we chalk that mark with the tee to show that that's where that spot is. So Cory's first bowl is probably about 4 feet through. It stayed on the green. Here's Tom. Tom's really got to cure the shorts quick, or this is going to end in a hurry if he keeps doing it. He's throwing, I think, about 6 short bowls in a row, and another couple yards short. And he's talking to himself. Get a drink, get a little snack. Cory feels, again, he's not worried about that bowl, and he much prefers playing this hand with this line. So he's not worried about that one in front. Tom really doesn't have to worry about that one either. He could stay with it if he wants, but he's going to switch over to the forehand. Again, his main thing is to play through. Got to be playing through the jack here. This is much better. There. Even that's a little short, but he's holding. But sometimes the computer's just off, and you got to recognize when it's off. Like if you feel that you let it go, and it's like, okay, I've got that pace, and geez, that's 2 yards through. Then you're something's wrong with the computer, and you need to recalibrate quickly. Especially when it's something consistent, like Tom's been doing over the last few ends, and just like shake yourself and say, okay, assume that first one's 2 yards short, and then just make your adjustment right away. Yeah, again, Cory's just really kind of bugabooed by this hand. And he just doesn't like it. He could have played the other hand if he wanted to, but all right, Tom wants to try and duplicate it, work on his own bowl. He could play through this bowl, play through the jack. Just trying to come to here is good. There you go, Tom. This is good. Very good there, buddy. Well done. That's good. Making it two. I'd like to see in his first bowl and a couple lands that he's got behind the jack. All right, Cory's fourth. Really needs to get one in here so he can cut it to one or take the jack. Oh, look at this. Oh, he got it on the button. And the jack's in the ditch, and his bull got hung up on the plinth. So Cory's holding, I'm pretty sure, yeah, thanks. Look at Steve with the camera work. Not sure what the shadow is, but the jack's kind of down in here in this area. Tom just kind of threw that quickly and kind of gave up. I mean, it wasn't even close. It's like he didn't even try, frankly. Well, that was very short. I think it's two. Yeah. Just one there for Cory. That bully put in the ditch. So I think that might be why Tom was just kind of giving up his, like, with it just being one down, there was no way he was going to. So he was going to be able to outdraw that, I think. With the toucher that was on the plinth, that would have been a really tough shot. So he just opted not to. He opted to play safe there. So one more for Cory to go 8-3. Oh, this will be interesting. Now he's opted to go long with the jack and put it in the ditch. So that'll be Tom, and I'm expecting Tom to do something different. Yeah, Tom having lost 3 ends in a row and 5 of the last 6 is making an adjustment and pulling the mat up, like way up. Now the important thing is to get that jack down. Because Tom having problems, either whatever you want to call it. Tom having problems with the distance. Cory's just been beating him consistently. So this is a smart play by Tom to try and play a different distance. But you got to execute and be able to get the jack in, which he's done. Yeah, that's well done. You can see it makes it easy for Ann that you just, because anything that's behind the tee just goes to the tee. I think they're just checking out to see if the mat's centered, since the mat's kind of in a new spot here. Yeah, it's pretty close to the hog. So he's probably like this would be close to minimum length. But definitely a short length here. Let's see how both these guys can adjust and play it. Cory with a good opener, not phased at all. Foot and a half through. Really like to see people put that first bull in, put the pressure on your opponent right away. Cory's been pretty good about that. Again, a little short, not too bad. He's got the good line though, pretty good line. Cory doesn't want to do anything different. Don't make any adjustments. That's a really good bowl. And the odds are, if you adjust, then you come up too short. You're better off just doing it again. Because even something like that can happen. Another, even closer. Great 2 shots there. Tom just wants to add the weight. He's got good line. Gonna stick with this hand. Oh, it's like, looked like he dropped it. Maybe I'm wrong. Looked like he dropped that ball. Cory's going to switch over or stick with it. It could come through there. Again, it's kind of the, what are you going to do with the, yeah, he's going to play the other one. Another nice bowl by Cory. Really putting the pressure on Tom here with 3 good bowls. A nice smooth delivery this time, Tom. There you go, Tom. Just a little unlucky. Good effort, though. Probably still 3 down. Cory's got an interesting choice. He could switch over and play on this hand and come to it, or try and shoot this gap again between these 2 bowls. Yeah. I'm trying to, I just want the one line. I'm getting 2 lines coming through every time. It's working. All right. Here's Cory. Looks like he is going to try and shoot the gap between these 2 bowls. He's played 3 on here really well. It doesn't need to do anything different. No jack movement. Yeah, get to that bowl. I even tipped it out. Wow. That's a good bowl. It could be 4 right now. That's a great shot. I'm probably going to stick with it. Really just wants anything in this kind of general area in here. And he can afford to be up to it. Because he could come to this bull, the jack, pull it back here to his. It's going to get a little edge and in. Oh, I almost got very lucky. It's still, but end up being lucky to unlucky quickly. That was, I think, far too heavy. Unless he was just trying to like ram through and like take the jack back. But it could have been his thought is like, I'm just going to hit jack or bull, come all the way through the back with it. Maybe cut it down by hitting something. I already kicked 2 out. Could be 4. We'll see. I'm measuring this third. I don't know how close that front one is. All right, 2 bowls are out already for Cory. Looks 3 now. They're not measuring the other one. All right, so 3 it is for Cory. Takes a very strong 11-3 lead after 8 ends, playing to 21 points. We got a report from one of the other games in the kind of the winners bracket, if you want to call it that, with Sadri, who's undefeated so far, needs to win. He's playing Bill Brault, and Sadri is up 8-4. We got a report. Gary Hiltunen, our roving reporter, getting some scores from here and there, from far and wide. Of course, won 4 ends in a row, 6 of the last 7. Been playing pretty well. Tom seems to just have a little problem with his weight, like his weight control's just a little off. Yeah, Cory just really putting the pressure on with that first bowl. And you could do that with your first bowl. It just really is just squeezing your opponent. And you just feel like you do, when you step up to the mat and that's what you see. I mean, that's rough, especially you're down 8 and your opponent's just like drilling the jack. The best thing you do is just kind of refocus. Just like, look, just try and come up, just try and play it. It's a bigger target. Just try and narrow it down if you can. Hope your opponent can't do it all day. And if you're Cory, it's like, I'd like that. I'm going to keep doing that if I can. It looks like Cory's switching over. I mean, really, he wants anything in this quadrant here, anything in this section behind, because the jack looks like it's going to move to that direction. So that anything back, anything in this area is good with this second bowl. Yeah, mission accomplished. An A plus by Titch on that one. Got a little unlucky that it turned over, but he achieved the goal. Any jack movements almost assuredly going to go that way. Well, Tom probably has got second, so just getting a closer second would be good. Again, trying to draw like probably in this area here, just trying to hit the jack or the bull. This isn't bad. Yeah, that's pretty good weight for it. Pretty good weight. I like that line with the weight. Try yellow next. Again, Cory, now that he's got one here, he wants to try and get one in here. Just kind of pinching it in. Yeah, again, really well done. Really well done. And this should be a second shot. And again, because it's in this quadrant, it's a catcher for any jack movement here. Tom really wants to kind of try and find that bull. Yeah, that's a good bull by Tom. There you go, Tommy. Cut it to one there. And it'll be interesting to see what Cory could do. I think he could play this hand and try and get a little movement on the bull. Now it'll help him to get it to here, especially with this bull kind of in the way. I mean, he could play this hand and come off of it, but he's gonna try this. Is there anything behind up to it? He was a little tentative there, which I can understand. You don't want to have a ton of jack movement. You don't want to knock it all the way back in here to have anything. I mean, you don't need to make anything happen, but sometimes it's just like discretion. So he's forcing Tom to make a shot. Tom's going to keep playing on that forehand, see if he can hit that bull or jack. Make use of his own. He could even come off his own bull to hit it. And again, you see the good position by Cory. Has him keep the shot. Because Cory had played into this quadrant and was keeping bulls here, knowing it was going to go this way. And you see what happens. One for Cory. So Big Red gets another point. 5 ends in a row. Go up 12-3. It's match to 21 elimination match in the men's singles playdowns for the Southwest Division qualifier for the national championship. All right, Cory again, you can see right where the tee is. He's got the mat right on the tee. And then a little shorter with the jack this time, a couple yards. Also, I haven't done it before, but a big thank you to Arrow Bowls for their continued sponsorship for the live streaming. Arrow Bowls, same line every time. Thank you for the use of your tent, keeping all our heads from being sunburned today, as we have really beautiful weather out in Long Beach. All right, Cory's opener. Again, he's been really solid with this first bowl. He's really been putting a lot of pressure on Tom. Not bad. I mean, it's kind of one of his weaker ones, frankly. But it's within a yard. Really like to see Tom with the first ball up and through and see if he can get one close. Kind of reverse the situation when the opponent gives you an opening. Again, like I was talking about earlier, if you like are missing one, if your opponent can't keep hitting the jack over and over and over again. So, just when you get an opening like that, you really need to take advantage of it. And he had the line. He just, again, he's a yard short. So I just want to tighten it down. Even his weight's okay. It'd just be a little short at most. You could probably just adjust the one thing, get back on his line. Really don't want to try and hit Tom's up. Yeah, I kind of missed this one. Yeah, he didn't like it. That one's kind of a bad adjustment there. All right. And again, with the door open, Tom, you got to, walk through it. See if you can do it. Just needs to add a yard on his first. That'll work. Definitely holding. Cory's going to stick with this hand. I think he's going to try and play a little wider since he was narrow that time. He's going to try and play a little wider in this gap here. Yeah. Again, now he's gotten the shorts a little bit. That's 3 short bowls now. And it's really no excuse for this one. He should be back in here if anything. I mean, he's cut Tom off, but this is kind of Tom's can play this freely. He's got any kind of he can hit either one of these 2 bowls and he can come all the way around. Play it nice and loose. Even if he misses, everything that comes to the back is good. Yeah. Like to see it be a little longer, but he's got one in the area. Cory really needs a big bowl here. Yeah, I think he's trying the forehand with weight. It's an interesting choice. And it didn't hit everything. He was trying to hit any of this. Any of these things here was good for him, I think is what he was thinking with that, as opposed to trying to draw it around, hoping he could do the chop lie, like hit the ball, knock it out, and then he stays in for shot. But he kind of missed the whole target. And he's really opened the door here for Tom. And Tom needs to walk in and get another one here. And a little touch on that one would be good. Well, let's see what the count is. It could easily be 3, maybe even 4. Again, that's all it takes is somebody just play a little bit of a loose end. You know, Cory didn't throw. I mean, his first bowl, which is over here, is the best bowl he played, and that's not all that close. And he's going to pay for it, and Tom's going to make him pay. It's good for Tom. Trying to see if we get a signal. 3. 3 it is for Richardson. Doubles the score. Good end for him. So cuts the lead to 12-6 and breaks the 5-end streak that Cory had running, including 2 threes with the 3 of his own. So when you've got a lead, that's the end you're trying to avoid, where you're just loose and you just like throw essentially one, okay bowl and 3 blanks. And Tom, to his credit, took advantage of it, and now it's turned it around, and now he could put them out where he wants, play his distance. He's opting to play almost kind of what Cory was playing. He's got the mat right on the tee, which is what Cory's been doing, and he's opting to just be a couple yards short. It's almost very similar to the distance that Cory's been playing. So. Now, this similarly, you want Tom to have just keep the pressure on, try and get back. How do you get back in this game? By having a great first ball. Do like Cory had been doing for the last few minutes, just have one that's like within a foot. Yeah, it's a pretty good opener there. Yeah, foot and a half there by Tom, right behind the jack. That's a great ball. Cory with the decent response, just a little short. Don't think he quite got there to get shot. I think Tom's still holding. See, you could see a lot of singles can be a streaky game because you don't have other partners that could be good on long or short or medium. It's all you, and you could get cold in a hurry. All it takes is somebody to control the length and play what they want, get into what their comfort zone is, play their natural length, and you could either get numbers or give up numbers in a hurry. Yeah, Tom kind of missed his line there. Or he just wants to make a small adjustment, just a little more weight. Hands wide open. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, not what you were looking for there. Need to adjust it the other way. Shorter and narrower. Yeah, Tom's still holding one. And again, nothing behind for Cory, so Tom can play this freely. That's where the upsides too is when your opponent's throwing too short, you can afford to be through because it only favors you. You've got everything back there. Jack movement helps you. Here comes Tom with another good one. Yeah, great ball and a toucher. Holding 2 now. And again, Cory, because he doesn't have anything back here, even if he wants to play with weight, he's got no friends. And he's playing the forehand, trying to come through, see if he can get off his own bowl or hit the jack or the bowl. He really wants to make sure he's at least a yard through here. Pretty good effort. Pretty good effort there. I think he had a little. If he was like in this kind of weight, then he could have hit either one of those and took it. Either chipped the bowl out and sat there, or he could have hit the jack clean. He might have cut it to one, which is a pretty good alternative. And see if Tommy can get another one in there. He played a stunner this last one. Just a little short there. Well, interesting choice here. Big Red's not even hesitating. He's going to try it again. See if he offers to be a little more forceful with this with the last bowl of the end. Come off his own. Try and hit the bowl of the jack here. Not far away. Not far away. Should just be one for Tom. They're eyeballing the second to see if Tom's got two. One it is for Tom. So it's 12-7 after 11 ends, but we're playing to 21. Well, hopefully you're enjoying the coverage. If you are, please consider subscribing or throwing us a like to help us show that people are watching and that they enjoy the broadcasts. So really appreciate you watching. Hoping you're enjoying the coverage. All right, here's Tom again. Really like to see that first bowl. I like to see the consistent, very similar to what he did before. Just about 2.5 yards short of the tee, kind of medium long length. Really like to see him get one within a couple feet. Yeah, yeah. Well, 4 feet. Again, I'd really like to see him behind here. Cory's going to stick with that hand, not really bothered by that ball. I think it just shows that they're not big fans on the other side. Seeing if he can float it around right to the jack. Again, that ball might have been in some people's line and they'd be worried about it. What does Cory do? He just drains one. That is a great response. You can see just like we were talking about earlier, where Cory had the opening and then Tom closed it down. And now this time is the other way around. There's Tom. Switch to hands. I don't mind the weight. I mean, he's really trying to just kind of jar it loose, just trying to hit the target and see if he can get some separation between the jack and the bowl. Yeah. Interesting. I would have thought, Cory played a stunner, but I think, again, he wants to try and get one in this quadrant here because it looks like the jack's going to go this way. So I think he'd be better served to have one over here, kind of where Ann's standing. Short didn't really help. Tom's just going to try and keep kind of coming at it. See if he can jar it loose. Pretty good effort. Again, I think Cory's well served to have one in this quadrant. It helped him before. Anything behind, because the jack movement's going to go basically to where Ann is. I think he was on the line. I think he'd be just take a little more grass. That way you don't move the jack and just try and target like in here, like in this spot. Yeah. Just short just doesn't really help you. I mean, you get a block out of it, but now you have no protection. But if Tom wants to have a go, he could. he could come with weight through here, and he's got all the position bowls back here. Yeah, that's what he's trying. Just got to split this gap here. He just kind of missed it. Because he was trying to do with the two back bowls, and it was ripe for it. And that's the problem. I don't know if Cory was necessarily baiting him to it, but I think he'd be better off just putting my back. Now Cory's just got a free draw. He's holding one. He's going to go on this side. He's probably going to try and just beat this ball here. Just trying to come around and get inside. All the way around the front. Come under the blue. Get in for a second. Pretty good effort. Didn't miss it by much. My guess is it's one for Cory. They'll stop Tom's little mini streak there. But again, you saw how important it was. That's the first bowl. The shot is the first bowl. Oh, the ghost image is not helping me. All right. So that's one more for Cory. So it's 13-7. I'm going to double check. Confirm from Ann Nunes that it's one. So Cory Vose goes up 13-7, playing at 21 points. All right. Again, you see both these players are kind of keeping with that mat. I mean, other than that one example where Tom pulled it up, which I don't think really worked for him. They've been sticking this kind of length, just putting the mat on the tee, and just sticking to their guns here. Cory's again sticking it like anywhere from a yard to 2 yards short is his ideal length, and they're definitely been playing this stretch of grass. Yeah, look at this. Just a stunner by Big Red. Foot behind. Again, he just right out of the gate. You put the pressure on Tom. The Tom, the way you should be thinking about it is like, okay, I got a bigger target now. He's going to switch over the forehand and see, well, I can hit the bull or I can hit the jack, and just trying to come across the head into this spot here. Just make sure you're playing through, especially when you've kind of had a little bit of the shorts. Just be nice and positive and free with it. That's the best bet. And he's done that here. Yeah, there you go. Way to go, Tommy. And see how it paid off. Now you've just taken it right away from Cory. Now you're the one with the great position. See what Cory's going to do. He's going to try and play the wonky hand. Maybe he's trying the same thing. He's got to get around or under his own bowl. Pretty good effort there. Just a touch short. Great road. See, Cory couldn't afford to play it with weight because he didn't want to hit this bowl in front. Let's see what Tom's going to do. I think, yeah, I don't know why he's questioning. He should be playing this hand, and he could either come on the inside of the bowl, hit his own, float it all the way behind. Just stay nice and positive. He's got no danger back here. Yeah. Oh, that might have fallen in for two. Probably is two. Yep, that's two. Good bowl by Tom. I'd like to see a little more weight, but that worked. Hit that one solid. What Cory's going to do. I wonder if he's going to just have a go with those being pretty tight. I think he's trying a nice positive shot. Again, with that little chop lie shot. Trying to hit one of the blue bowls if he can, and then follow it up. A little unlucky. Kind of hurt his bowl. I think he's trying to hit either one of these bowls, knock it back, and then have his sit here. Naked, naked. What's that? Where did that come from? Did I say naked? No, I did say naked. My goodness. New tools, everybody. Naked, naked. Oh, goodness. Like Telestrator autocorrect. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tom came a little short. He could afford to play it through. He'd have been better off playing it back here. Short really didn't help him. Really no fear. And Cory's got all the position. If he happens to get jack movement, I mean, he's already 2 down. It's not going to get much worse. Yeah. Now you can see what he's trying. Again, he's just trying to get a little action on anything here. All right, now you got a free draw for Tom. You just got to beat this bull in front. So anything within 5 feet, he could afford like this kind of weight because he could hit his own and stop. You know, if it's here with this kind of weight, then that's enough for a third. Come on, Tommy. No fear there. You got to take the free throw when you can. So, all right, 2 more for Richardson. So cuts into the lead. It's 13-9 for Big Red. Cory Vose playing at 21 points. You got some updates on some of the other scores. So the winner of this game will play the winner of Ruse and Dave Morrison. Ruse is up 8-1. That Bill Sadri game where Sadri was up 8-4. Bill is now closed it to 11-11 to tie that one. And the other elimination game, Charlie Herbert's up 6-4 over Chris Trenchel. So that's our update. Thank you very much, Joe Normontes. See if Tommy Gittin is going to stick to his guns about putting the man on the tee and just go with. They did try that one adjustment, but it didn't work for him. But he's not too far away, only 4 down. It's still within reach. And again, they're both kind of playing the same thing. I mean, just there's the mat length and the mat position. Jack length is really nothing that's been used so far. Nobody's kind of been taking advantage or doing anything different with it. So it just, my best against your best, and I just feel like I can play it better. A lot of it just comes to who's getting their first bowl in. And that's been kind of what's been the story of this match. The person who's got their first bowl in has been the one that's been really controlling the heads. Pretty good bowl there. Good opener. Just wants to try and slide inside that, even make use of it if you can. Yeah, okay, opener. I mean, I like that weight. I'm going to afford to just add a little bit. Come off his own. Yeah, it's a good ball here. Yeah, maybe a little, but that's kind of the thing he wanted was to try and just play through his own. He already had one, so they're just trying to keep playing through and then to come in there. That's what he wanted, and bonus to get the jack. Now Cory's going to try the same thing. He's going to try and just see if he can duplicate that shot, even maybe with a couple feet of weight to try and play through the bull and the jack there. Just kind of missing his line a little bit with everything. I mean, I don't really mind the weight. Now Cory's the one that's talking to himself. Tom's the one that's feeling it. Really, just same bull here. Don't change anything, Tom. Yeah. And just got a little unlucky by hitting his own, but put her in a decent spot is really kind of blocking it up. Cory's not even hesitating. He's still going to try the same shot. Really just kind of wants to hit any of those 3 bulls, preferably the one with the jack if he can. Don't know if he pushed that one up or pushed it in. Tom's gonna keep sticking with this hand again. I think he'd be again because you see where the jack is. Anything in this quadrant, I think, is a good spot. So he could play it on this hand, and either push his own up, push this one up, or just little jack move it to get it to here.
See the red is
It's yeah, it's a good bowl, but it makes a big target now. Cory can hit anything in the zone here, but he's got to hit it because Tom's the one that's holding 3, I think. Oh, look at that. A little fortunate. Probably just 1 now. But that was the right call, I think. It was down 3, and a big target was nice and wide with no gaps in it. Just playing it through and firm and just trying to chop a piece of it. They got a pretty good result, I think, cutting it to 1. Yeah. 1 for Tom. Another bite of the elephant. So he's down 13-10 after 14 ends, playing to 21 points in this men's singles playdowns elimination match. So in this bracket with the 4 in the stars, we have Ruse, Dave, Tom, and Cory. None of these guys has gone and represented the Southwest and the national championships for singles. So we're definitely going to have a new player that's going to do that. Um, and obviously, all really good players, as you've seen the skill from these guys. The only one who's gone before of anything is Tom, he's currently the U.S. Open pairs champion with his partner Chris Dodd, and he and Chris finished 3rd in the national championships, qualified out of here in pairs. So I think Tom wouldn't mind playing with Chris again in the pairs, but I think he's would pass on that to play in the singles, and that's what he's trying for here. All right, see if Tom can get it again. Another good solid first bowl. Yeah, there it is, Tommy. Great shot. What a bowl. Tom has just stuck to his guns. He had that like the 5 ends or 6 ends, or he was just kind of loose and had the shorts, but he is, I don't know if the green got a little quicker with the sun kind of coming up a little bit, but whatever the adjustment he's made to the computer is working fantastically. And it's putting Cory's got the lead, but Tom's got all the momentum. Interesting choice by Cory. Tom is probably just wanted to try it again, just try and get a second ball in there. Even if you nudge it, it's not the end of the world. Some people see that and say, "Well, I don't want to touch it." But you're better off you touching it, and just kind of gently touching and dislodging it. Anything behind would be good. And it's come up a little short. Cory's going to stick with the, yeah, it looks like he's sticking with the forehand, which is interesting. We see so everybody kind of avoiding this hand, and now Cory's been kind of sticking with it. And then, I mean, it's not like he's playing it great, frankly. Yeah. I just really seem to be having struggles with it. I mean, he set it up nicely, so that really, I think Tom would be good to kind of put one in this area here. Yeah, anything floating behind is good. Yeah, got to put a second one in the count, and it's kind of a little helper for. And Cory could play the other hand now, come off this bowl, smaller, come off this bowl or here, and trying to force it back into his 2 bowls over here. Yeah, I think that's what he's going to try and do. It's come with a little bit of pressing weight. Make sure he arrives. Trying to hit the jack or the bull. Again, it's just kind of like he's kept it on the green, which I think is good. You could see, obviously, not a draw bull there. Again, Tom's got nothing behind. He really needs something, and preferably in this quadrant here. even a bull in here or matching these two, but preferably probably in this spot here. I mean, he could do that, or he puts another one in front here, and then now he's put Cory to the test of being up 3. So I could see either one of those as an option. Depends on how he's feeling. Okay, so he's put Cory to 3, so Cory could try the same thing, but if he gets that jack back, it's 3 or 4, or he's probably just going to try and draw to cut it down. They're 3 down for sure. It's just, do you feel like gambling? I guess he does. Oh, and he might have got paid off. He played that nice and positive. He opted to stick with it, just not. He had this kind of weight as opposed to off the screen weight, and just trying to get some kind of action on any of the bulls and fring it. Not really sure what the count is here. It's pretty good bull by Cory to dislodge it, but I don't know who got it. You're eyeballing everything here. No, it looks like, yeah. So Tom did keep one out of it, and then a big red will measure to see if he managed to keep his bull in for second. Well, he was 3 down, so regardless, he was able to cut it down. Sometimes you cut it down with weight, and that's what I think he was trying to do. A lot of people say, well, just cut it down. And a lot of people, you think cut it down with the draw, but you cut it down with the weight. That look like 2? I couldn't tell. Was it 2? Okay. So 2 for Tom, making it 13-12. He's won 3 ends in a row, 5 of the last 6. Again, singles is very streaky. You saw Cory win 7 of the first 9 ends. He went 7 out of 8 ends between ends 2 through 9. And since then, Tom's won 5 of the last 6 ends. It could be like that. So Cory's got the lead, but Tom's got the momentum. Touch longer this time with the jack. Let's see if they make the adjustment. The natural tendency is because they've been playing the same thing, is ending up here, when really you want to be trying to draw to that tee there. Yeah, really good by Tom. That's a great opener. Put it within a foot. Again, you just see the pressure that Tom is doing now. Ever since he made that conversion when Cory had it, and then he turned that over, and now it's been kind of like the flipping the switch on the match. And Cory can afford to play this free, kind of a jack or bull shot. You want to make sure, again, that T weight back in here, try and hit the jack or the bull. Yeah, just short. I mean, he had the road. You really want to be here, and then when you're hitting the bull, you're hitting the jack, and you're knocking it back here. As it is now, you're short, and then Tommy can just do it again and just kind of come all the way around, come through his own bull. Main thing, because if Tom was short, he really wants to make sure he's through this one, ideally avoiding the red in front. But again, the natural tendency is to kind of come up short because you're worried about moving it, and that's what he's done here. And again, he'd be much better served to have something back here. He needs to just add that weight. He can press on his own now as well. Yeah, just a little too much pace on that one, I think, for that line. All right, I like to see again. I like to see Tom. If he's going to stick with that hand, just anything behind here. It could be on either side, really, but probably over here, because you see Cory coming this way. He's going to move the jack back in here. I think Tom's put a good pass on this one. Kind of short and narrow. If anything's kind of giving Cory a guide, might be in his path, but just kind of free to swing up for Cory. I mean, can hit the inside half of this bowl and redirect it into everything. Yeah, I don't think outside is the way to go with that weight. He really needs to be inside this bowl here. This bowl needs to be inside. He's got two bowls next to each other on the tee, on the plinth rather, back in here. Tom really needs. He's got nothing back here. He really needs something behind. There it is. That's what you want. And put a second one in the count. And Cory probably is going to come with weight. He's got all the positions. He's got two bulls behind. He's got his own bull to hit. The really main thing is don't lose this bull. That's the danger. But he's probably going to try it. Yeah. Just again, three bulls. He was on this side of that bull every time, and anything in this trough would have been good for him. So it's going to be two more for Tom, and Tom's going to take his first lead since the first end of the match, going up 14-13 after being down 12-3. Singles is a streaky game. So that's 16 ends down, and then score is 14-13. All right. See, I mean, I don't expect Tom to be changing anything with the jack length. You can see them putting the mat on the tee, and he's just really been feeling it. Now he's 6 out of the last 7 ends, and outscoring Cory 11-1 during that time. A little bit shorter this time. I don't know if Tom's doing it intentionally. Sometimes you put him on the we like to call like the yo-yo. You go long, short, kind of like a yo-yo, thinking the yo-yo length. And he's kind of doing like a mini part of that, where he's just kind of been close to the tee, then further away from the tee. But he's the one that's controlling the distance. So, and he's been striping the jack, so you can't argue with the results. Another really good opener here. Maybe foot and a half again. Yeah. Cory, I'd like to see Cory get back in the game here, get a good draw. There's a little opening. Just he's been kind of missing with his weight in line a little bit. Weight's very good there. The main thing is just kind of like his line is kind of a little squirrely. And you can saw it like on those weighted shots. It just really, frankly, wasn't that close with the line. No fear from Tom. That ball's not in his way. He's probably trying to do something similar. Yeah, another good ball by Tom. Yeah, really feeling it, playing really well. And Cory can play in this little cup. He's got this little cup here. And you're just trying to really just come to those two bowls. He could sit right on that, either one, and that'll get him a shot. So take a little more grass from his last one. Just again, he just kind of missed the line a little bit and overcooked it. Tom's got an interesting jump. Probably no reason for Tom not to try it again. Ideally, he'd want to take the jack and push it to those other two, or I mean, you could make the target bigger for Cory. Cory really hasn't shown that he can hit it, so but he didn't on the last end. Yeah, you can see this is a pretty big target for Cory. Anything in this little zone here that he can hit with weight if he wants. So again, he could do the drawing. Still got that little cup to come into. And he's 3 down and needs something quickly. This looks close. This looks very close. That's a great bull. That's a great bull. Don't know if he got shot out of it, but he's definitely cut it down to 1. Yeah, Tommy wants to know too. Yep. So that Red Bull's shot. Great shot by Cory. Great pressure bull. And some people would have driven at that head, and Cory just opted for the draw, and which I think was a better play since you had this little cup here that you could use. You could just play that free, a little freer with the weight, not quite so heavy as he had that one, and just take a little weight off, more like his first one was. Tom is switching hands. He's hoping to just get the inside of this bowl, or he could get the little jack movement. I think he's hung it out. This is the problem when you played 3 on this hand, and all of a sudden you're switching hands. If you don't necessarily know what the line is, and it's just kind of very heavy. Now Cory probably is going to switch over and be gentle. It wouldn't shock me if he was short, but he's probably just going to try and target that bull there. Just trying to stay outside, see if he could come to that bull. Main thing is you don't want jack movement because you have those 3 blues there. And better to just get the one and try and tie this match up and change things up again. So, which he's done. So, not shocking that he was short there, frankly. But he breaks the streak, gets on the board, ties this match up at 14. Playing at 21 points. So now the game to 21 is now a game to 7. Sure what's going on. Well, I guess they left the mat or carried it up the last time, so they're short a mat. Now the question is, will Cory do something different? Because Tom was playing his. Yeah, Cory's going to stick to pretty much putting the mat right where the jack was. You see a lot of people do that when you play a good distance. They just kind of put the mat pretty close to where the jack is, and then try and roll the jack. This would probably be to the tee, would be my guess. And you're just kind of trying to play that same stroke that you just played. And it's come up a little shorter than that, so he's just going for something completely different, which I do not blame him. And again, see if who's going to be the first to get a good first solid roll. Yeah, pretty good opener by Cory. See, and even Tom had a really good first bowl and second and third. They were good, but then Cory trumped it with an excellent bowl. Tom would probably play on his forehand, just trying to look to get to that bowl, the one that was just delivered. With it being behind, he can afford to be positive. Just coming across the head. Pretty good weight. Cory's going to stick with the line. Probably doesn't want to do anything different. Just try and match, get a second one in there. A little short there. Going to keep Tom on the forehand. It's kind of probably blocked visually of anything else on that hand. Tom just got to adjust his line, take a little more grass, and he can find that shot ball. Pretty good. Pretty good here. Oh, just outside of it. Nice effort. Cory's in a little bit of danger in this spot back in here. Yeah, I think he's probably trying to draw on his own or through. Yeah, short was not what he wanted there. Even better off being around and either hit this bull or that bull or through the gap. This ghost image is throwing me off because he's vulnerable back in here. And Tom should take advantage of it now. He still can just kind of come to that bull. Probably doesn't need to change much from his last. Just what's inside of that shot bull. Pretty good effort here by Tommy. Yeah, great shot. That's well done. Very nicely done. And Cory, before, I mean, if he had something back here, then he could play with a little weight and have a little, something to go off of. Now he's got to have, he's got to have a pretty good shot and get a good result too. He's opting to stick with the backhand, looking to get some kind of connection. Just short is no good. Well, kind of plug in the hand. It's interesting to see what Tom will try here. He's definitely holding one. I don't know if it's two. Measure for the second, according to Ann. But I mean, if he could, I'm not sure I could do it. But if he could get the jack back in here, it's four. And he's going to have a look see to see. Again, it just you've got this wall in front of the Red Bulls, and you really don't want to try and push this bull in or any of these. You don't really want to touch any of these bulls. You know, and I don't know if you'd have to be really confident you know the line to try and shoot one of these gaps. So I think maybe the better shot might be to just kind of play it on this hand, play it wide, just try and come off of your own bull. You know this one's close. This blue bull, the the blue bull here on the side is you know that's at least a measure. So if you could just play this hand and beat that bull, then you'd be in for a second for sure. So I think that's the play that I would be making here because you don't want to promote any of those other ones. But Tommy thinks he could shoot this gap, having played it multiple times. And he might have done it. That's a pretty good effort there by Tom. Again, he opted for sticking with the hand he knew and then just playing it short to make sure they didn't promote any of those bulls. It just kind of came up and through. And if he's short, he's short. But he really liked that hand, I guess. So, and I don't blame him. Played it really well. So Tommy's already got one out, and they're kind of eyeballing these other two, I think. Oh, I guess they just said it's one. All right, so one for Tom. Retakes the lead 15-14 in this match to 21, this elimination match for the Southwest Division men's singles playdowns. All right, this is 18 ends done, and it's 15-14. It's looking like a 23 ender, probably 23-24 range. We'll see. Tom kind of going right back to where he's been. Again, it's so you can get that good first bowl in. All right, so I was talking to Ann, and she thinks it's 14-0 right now, and that's what they have on the board. So we're going to try and double check everything and see what's going on and where we missed something. So we'll keep it as it is right now. All right. Yeah, a couple of loose bowls there by Tom and Cory. After this end, I'll probably go down to the scoreboard and see what's what. Yeah. Cory with good weight there. Just kind of missed his line. Looks like a pretty good one from Tom here. Yeah, great bull there by Tommy. Great shot. Probably going to force Cory over. Yep, Cory's already looking to switch. Cory just going to try and play one right in here. See if he can get jack or bull. Yeah, just kind of hung out on him. The weight's pretty good. I don't mind that weight. I just really need to finish over here so that you come across the head and get some action. Tom probably just wanted to draw another. He could afford to put one here if he wanted to kind of plug up this little gap, but he's probably just going to opt to just draw another one. Yeah, you can see how good that would have been. I mean, if he would have picked up the jack and pulled it over here, that would have been great. All right. Cory probably just going to look to try and get a close second. Or maybe get the shot. I don't know how aggressive he's going to try and play this now. Again, I think he just wants to try and be a little bit through. Yeah, it just took too much off. We're going to have a measure. Based on the last conversation with Ann, who said that we had the score wrong somehow, Gary's going to go over and talk to the guys and see what the actual, what they have this count is. We might have added one here or there. But measuring to see what's what. Should be one out for Tom, and they're just measuring 2 and 3 here. It'll end up being a pretty good end for 3 there for Tom. I would say it's 18-14, but it may be something different. So we're going to get the Iggy from Gary who went to go ask. Okay, I guess we add an extra point somewhere along the line, even though I think that was 3, it's really only 17-14. Add that to list, lollipops. We need to get lollipops. Hmm? Well, I used to have some, but I gave them to the U.S. Open committee for last year. We had our own, but a small purchase. We'll get some more. All right, so now we know for a fact it's 17-14. So Tom is now, any end can be the last end, because if Tom gets a 4, which is capable, then he could win the match right then. It's been a hell of a comeback for Tom, being down 12-3 at one point, and now is up 17-14. And again, it's in that first bowl, it's been really good. And he's been kind of just a little bit of the yo-yo with the distance, but he's been putting it in pretty close. That first bowl you see, whereas before it was loose and it was like a yard, 5 feet, it was really short. Now he's like within a foot, foot and a half with that first one. So it's really turned things around and put a lot of pressure on Cory. Cory's been trying to convert, but hasn't really been able to do it. And Cory's now, he's the one that's been a yard off. He's the one whose weight has been kind of falling off. So Cory had the lead, but then he was losing the momentum, and now Tom's just ridden that momentum and has kept it rolling and has now worked it into a 3-point lead. Just would like to see him a little bit further. He's out there for just the same bowl. And just trying to do a caterpillar. Don't really blame him. It's not a lot of room to try and draw around it. Possible for Cory to do. It really needs to add a yard, make that adjustment. pretty good if he's got the distance here. That's a great bull there by Cory. Big red with a stunner. Big red with a stunner there. Interesting to see what Tom is. Doesn't have a lot of options. He's gonna try that forehand. It's an interesting choice. Set it up for the next one, I guess. I mean, he's already got a pretty good, 2 close seconds. You might be thinking, well, I could afford to take one down, but short isn't going to help you. You really want to be behind. And again, the jack movement looks like it would go this way, down into this corner. Cory's probably going to try just the same bull and see if he can just have a similar kind of miracle. He played that one really well. And he's under the front. Just didn't quite get it there. Interesting choice. So what Tom could do is he could play with weight. On the other hand, coming through here, trying to hit his own bull, or coming off the red into the blues to try and push those up into the red. This is pretty much, how are you going to draw it? I don't see any draw, and any movement on this is just going to move the bull into the jack. It'd be really lucky for him to push this bull out and then sit for shot. Probably his best bet is to come through here with a little bit of positive weight, but I think he's going to stick with the forehand, and he's going to try the miracle. The danger of playing that shot is if he pushes all his bulls further away. So he might be just content to just eat one here, but only eat one, given the nature of the score. All right, kind of opened it up a little bit for Cory, trying to draw a second one in there. No danger, literally no bull behind the jack, and it's going to stay that way. So Cory will get one. So closes it a little bit now, 17-15, playing at 21 points. Got some updates on some of the other games. Ruse is up on the other game for this in this division. Ruse is up on Dave 11-5. Charlie Herbert over Chris Trenchell 12-7, and then Sadri is up 16-14 over Bill Brault. And once again, Ruse and Sadri are the two in the so-called catbird seat that are undefeated right now. All right. So here's Cory. See what he's going to do. Often, the question whether you change anything, but he's just going to go back to this man on the tee and just put it 2 yards behind and see if he can do it. Again, a lot of it's been who's gotten that first ball, but has really put a lot of pressure on the opponent. Cory, it's been about 1 out of every 4 times where somebody's made a conversion, including Cory on that last end. But getting that first ball and you win 75% of the time, I think he'd like those odds. And again, pretty good weight, missed the line. Interesting that Tommy's going to switch here. And an okay bull. And a little short, but it's enough to hold shot. And it's going to force Cory over to his forehand. And it's pretty much right in the draw line. Cory's going to make it all the way. Yeah, just short. Tom's got something to build off of. I wonder if he's going to stick with the hand and come around or switch over. Looks like he's switching over. Again, this bull's kind of in his way, and so you'd have to be navigating it. And here he could just play through his own bull, which I think is what he's going to do. could just play it nice and positive, an extra yard away if you touch your own. Yeah, that's well done there. Should be 2 now for Tom. Again, any end can be the last end now. If Tom gets a 4, it's over. And Cory up into playing the forehand, trying to slip under his bull and get to the jack of the bull there. Not far away. It's kind of drifted out. Not sure if it's second or not. Close. And Tom's trying the same kind of thing, just trying to come through, can promote his own. Something similar would be great. He's going to get the promotion on his own. Yeah. And he's got 2 out of it and made it close, but he's also opened it up for Cory. If he, could play his forehand and hit any of these is good for him. Just playing it over to here. Not far away here. What a shot by Cory Vose. Big red with the stunner right when he needed it. That was the problem with Tom when playing that promotion. He had the draw blocked, but by trying to promote his own and moving it, he kind of opened that space up and gave Cory a chance for that shot. Well, Tom with the last bowl can probably going to try and do something similar that Cory did. I mean, just to either push his own up or float it all the way in. I think kind of like this kind of weight is probably good to this back red bowl. Just trying to find it, see if he can get through the hole there. Right to that. Oh, that's a hell of a try. He hits the inside half of that and he's in there. Let's check the count here. Yeah, Ann's pretty confident that it's 2. So it's 2 for Cory with a great conversion there. And we're 17-17 now. Vose and Richardson, the battle for this elimination match that was to play into 21 is now a match to 4. And any end could be the last one. So 21 ends down, 17-17. Sure what's going on here. Cory's opted for gonna pull the mat out, I think, a little bit this time. Instead of being on the tee, he's out maybe 2.5 yards from it. And a little bit shorter. It's been a heck of a match here. The guys going back and forth. So it's a little bit shorter distance here. See again the importance of that first bowl. Cory with just an absolute stunner. Drag the jack. You can see Tom got the first bowl, but it wasn't super close, and he had some openings. And then when he moved that other bowl that was kind of blocking the line, it gave Cory an opening, and Cory made the conversion. Both these guys, I mean, it's been a pretty good match, kind of back and forth. Tom wants to play this through. He can play jack or bull here. Pretty good effort. Just unlucky. That's a great shot. Just really unlucky. Cory's probably going to play that hand, and he really kind of wants to have the similar kind of weight here and either hit the bowl over, get onto the other that back bowl of Tom's. That kind of weight would be good to play it high. And it's come across a little bit. I think I would have been attacking this blue bull here with that shot. Now Tom is just going to try the same kind of thing. And he could, if he manages to hit the jack, he'll knock it right back to his other one that he threw there. And I think he's come a little narrow. See, sometimes you find a gap and you're trying to do something a little different to try and correct it, and he just came up short there. Interesting choice here by Cory because that blue bull might be in his way and might be switching over. Well, he's going to try it again. Yeah, I think he's going to stick with the forehand. Again, he could probably come around to this blue bull here, and that might be his play. Just wants to slip that one. And just kind of touched it. Kind of just draw weight. He was just trying to, really, he was just trying to do a draw. And Tom's not in his way. Again, Tom's really wanting that jack or bull shot, almost just what he did on the first one. Just instead of having bad luck, a little better luck. Just try and hit the jack or the bull here. He added a little pace this time. There it is. Now I get paid off. Great conversion there by Tom. You can see this is why Cory really should have been trying to put one back in here so he could have prevented that from happening. If he would have had something back here, then he had a chance for the jack to come to him, or he could have just had to be one down. Now he's up against it with his last bull, and he's two down. And the time of the match when you really can't afford to give up multiples. And he's probably going to try this jack or bull shot, see if he can pull it all the way around and get to it. Needs to be clean here. Got a little rub. Nope. Well, Tom's got a chance to get a third point here. He could play the same kind of shot. He really doesn't have a lot of danger. There's a bull, just on Ann's shoulder here. He just got to fly it underneath there. Play the same thing he just did and get a third. It's going to be close. Really well done here by Tom. Really well done there. And just like that, he's one away. Tom Richardson 20, Cory Vose 17. Now Tom just wins the win and end. This is a definitely, normally when you're playing singles, it doesn't matter. But when somebody gets to 18, 19, 20 especially, it's like one is too many. And one is not in the budget anymore. And if you're Tom, you really just want to try and put one and get a good one in. And the winner of this match will play the winner of the Ruse, Dai, and Dave Morrison match. And the loser is done. I have a solid tie for third place finish in this. All right. Tom's opted to go kind of shorter, much significantly shorter with this jack here. See if he can get this first one in and really put the pressure on Cory. Looks like he's done just that. Pretty good. Yeah, just a couple feet through. A good opener. Yeah, I don't want to be short here, Cory. Short is no good. I think Tom wants to do much different. Really just kind of wants to put other bulls in the head. Especially, I mean, really, Cory really would better off to be through. If you had a bull through, it gives you more options. Being short takes away options. Tom, just take a deep breath, relax. Just like you practiced 1,000 times. Just roll another one to the jack. Yeah. Yeah, that's real good. Just a bull short, if anything. Room for Cory to draw, though. Mm. Yeah, short again. Short again by a healthy yard. Not what you want there. I mean, 'cause even if you had one way back here, you at least give an option for a miracle drive, if anything. But by being that short, you're just taking away your options. Tom just looking to try and get another one in. Didn't really plug anything up or change anything. And see, everybody's kind of narrow with the jack here, so it's turning more than they think. I'd like to see Cory at least reach the jack here. The tendency is going to be to overdo it. It really just needs a nice smooth draw, and he's giving it a good try here. Yeah, look at that. That's a good pressure pull. Should be enough to get to be holding. Tom's going to switch hands and go the forehand, playing it through and just trying to take that ball right on out. Yep, looks like that's what he's trying. He even could get the combo and red to blue and in, but he didn't do it. So Cory's got holding one, but he's in a dangerous spot with his one ball to come. He's definitely holding one, and you can't afford to give it away. You give it away, you give away the match. So it's probably pretty safe. So he could just draw on the inside of this blue ball or come around to touch here. But weight is key, and it wouldn't shock me if he just kind of left it out. But you really want the free throw if you can get it. And he's made a great draw here. Look at this shot. What a bowl. What a bowl. He just took a deep breath and just did the same thing. Yep. So it's 2 for Cory. So it's Richardson 20, Vose 19 after 23 ends, playing to 21 points. A strong chance this could be the last stand either way. Cory's eyeballing, wondering what he's going to do. What he's going to do with the mat to try and change things up. Going to be something. I mean, you could go back to the old reliable, but he's going to go something completely different. It's not a bad idea by Cory. Just even pull it way up. If you happen to mess up with the jack, Tom's probably just going to play what you've been playing. So if you're Tom, you got to feel good. It's like this is what I feel like he's got to do to try and beat me. So that's a confidence builder in that fashion. But you still got to be able to do it. Been a much better player over the long haul in this last second half of this match after being down 12-3 after 9. But Cory's gotten the last 4 ends. He's outscored him 5-3. That 1-3 was the only end that Tom won. Well, Cory's pulling the mat up and trying to put the jack on the tee, which I think he's done. Well, and here we go with this 24th end. Going to be a good one. We're on pins and needles here in the booth. Thanks again to Arrow Bowls. Thank you for the tent, Arrow Bowls. Same line every time. All right, here's Big Red with his first. Really wants to put the dagger in quickly. Pretty good opener. Maybe a foot and a half short. Tom just needs to score, and he's going to have the last ball. All those hours of practice. It's like a pretty good bowl by Tom. Oh, just a hair short. Cory's still holding. Cory's going to switch hands. I think it would be wise. Yeah. He doesn't want to do anything with Tom's bowl, and he could press on his own if he wants. Just play it around. Just anything. I think anything behind would be good. That kind of weight, just behind weight. Push his a little closer. Follow it up. Pretty good there. Now Cory's holding the match right now with 2. If Tom's going to stick to the forehand and try and press his own, really, I mean, he could press his own, which I think is what he's looking at, but I think he'd be better served to switch over, just come to this bull here. Better if you're going to switch early. Yeah, that's what he's trying. It's come a little narrow. Pretty good effort there. I don't know if he's cut it to 1. He might have. Cory's going to take a walk. Cory asked for permission to see the head, which don't blame him. Usually you can only go after the 3rd bull if you need to ask permission after 2. And given the nature of the match with this state, and the guys have been abusing it. I remember playing a match internationally where the guy kept asking after every 2 ends. He kept wanting to see after the 2 bulls, even though it wasn't close. So I don't know if he just liked the exercise. All right, so some updates. Well, I'll give you the updates after this bull, since there'll be a little walking. Big bull here. We're getting a good shot of Tom's back. Cory, I think, doesn't want to do anything different. He wants to keep playing on that backhand. Keep playing on this hand here. Trying to come to the bull. See if he can push his own up or push that one out. Well, he's got his own. Didn't really do anything. If anything, I pushed it away, so I think it's just the 1 now. All right, so other scores here. Ruse has had a big lead, but Dave has come back. It's Ruse 13, Dave 9. Charlie is up 14-10 over Chris, and we actually have a final. Bill brought them all the way back and has beat Sadri 21-18. So Sadri will sit and wait, and Bill will play the winner of the Charlie Chris game. So, and we're likely, I'm guessing that's the game we're going to show for you next, is Bill versus the winner of the Charlie Chris game. And whoever wins that will face Sadri in the championship match or the Stripes qualifier. All right, here's Tom. He just needs 1. He's 1 down, though. He's had a chance to look at it. He's walked to the head. So I think he's going to try, probably on the backhand, and try and see if he can get to this bull here. My guess. What he's going to try and do. Big shots here. Every bull is a big bull now. It's close, very close. Great shot. All right. Well, there it is. Tom is now holding and is holding the match. Cory does have a not too difficult shot. I think you're going to see him play this backhand again. He's either getting to the bull or getting to the jack, but this is his last bull. He succeeds or he's done. I like that he didn't waste a lot of time. He knew what he had to do and he just executed. And he's not far away. Going to get an edge and in. Oh, he didn't quite do it. Great match, though. Great match. But Tom Richardson will take this one with a 1 on the last to win 21-19. And he will advance and play the winner of the Ruse Adai Dave Morrison match, which is currently Ruse 13, Dave 9. So, thank you to our team here. We'll be taking a little break, and then we'll give you that match, the second match of the day. So, thanks to Gary Barnes, the producer, Steve Normontes on the camera. Thanks to Sheila Conti, Gary Hiltoon, and Joe Normontes. Thank you so much, and I've been Scott Roberts. We'll be back with you in a little bit. Bye for now. Hello. Hello. Baby purple dishwasher. Like I said, it was.